work is very intense energetically. It's dead easy to do. Once you learn the technique, it's so easy to accomplish yourself, but it moves your awareness so radically fast. It's always better to do it with somebody that you trust. Again, the intensity involved is not for everyone, but if you have that kind of where do I go next on why is my life so like this, cause rebirthing breathwork is probably the best way of just moving yourself forward without having to do all like talk therapy, analysis. There's no talk in it, it's just breathing and very high levels of inner energy, so that the energy does the clearing in the background. And then you just, a week later, 2 weeks later, you shouldn't suddenly find yourself in a different space, emotionally, intellectually, mentally. So that's the basic distinction I would draw in the techniques available to us. You know, clear focus on the presenting issue, go for the EFT, the mind connection healing. No clear focus, but a sense of just general disquiet, go for rebirthing. And if you have a sense that something in the family field, in the ancestral field, is like bearing down on you again and again, definitely the constellation therapy is going to probably give you the best result in the shortest time. But having said all of that, Greg, I would say to everyone who's interested in the esoteric, in the new age, in a better future, get hold of one or two of these techniques and master them for yourself.
Yeah, I think that's great advice.
Empower yourself, because that empowerment, that ability to deal on a day-to-day basis with all the, the shit we have to wade through, if you can clear that, the day it happens, the same hour, the same minute it happens, you're going to be feeling far better place.
Dude, that's true.
Than just letting it accumulate all day long until you need a good stiff drink at the end of the day to cope with it.
Good God, what a day. Okay, that's the guy right there. So the show, I love the Higher Side Chats. He's got a really good show, he has really good guests. It's been on for a really, really long time. Within the hour of all these things, let me read this. This guy comes on and this is their show about the game of Saturn. Whatever, I don't know. I'm not going to go into it. I'll say what it says. The Sola Busca is a Ferresi Tarucci. I can't even say that without being able to.
Bascucha Verucci!
Serious. We got another dupe. Get in the boat, dupe. I'm currently gathering barons and dupes from the ancient times to pilot our pirate flying ship, disappearing extraterrestrial vessel that we're working on. Don't be worried. Reggio and Modena, and dating from 1491. Excellent. We get 1 year under the rug for that son of a bitch child molester Columbus and his 1492 shit. It is the earliest complete deck of Tarocchi cards in existence. A fine detail. Its attribute is the production from copper engraving plates. How about that? Who knew? I never heard of it. The Sola Busca disguises its true import beneath historical narratives derived from Plutarch, Livy, and Alexander Romance literary tradition. But this carefully prepared surface has been rendered unstable.
Pow! 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 Pow!
Pow by what? Polysemus? Polysemus. Very small. By the systematic use of ambiguity in the spelling of the names and presence of symbols, symbolic counters to point that point towards deeper occult level meaning. In keeping with the deck's Polysemus construction, Trump 23, there's 23. 23 is a fine number in the Roman characters. Can be construed as reference to the Roman jurists Cato the Elder and his great-grandson, Cato the Younger. It's Cato. appearance of the severed head inclines our judgment to favor Cato the Elder, since his parallel lives of the Greek and Romans. Plutarch relates how, when young Marcus Porcius Cato the Elder visited his friend Lucius Valerius Flaccus, a consular governor, and out of the curiosity prevailed upon him to behead one of the condemned criminals so that he could watch. As is so often the case with the deck, the narrative associated with the historic figure are insufficient to fully account for the imagery as used to predict them. The partial separation of imagery and narrative opens the way for the deck designer to introduce a second and even a third narrative layer within one compact image. Oh, this is what I'm doing. This is the image embedding. In the case of 23 Catone, or 13, it's 13, I'm reading it wrong, sorry. Whatever, it's the same, 23 and 13. 13's worse. It's better than. Catone is a here so narrative fails to establish a convincing rationale for the subject's winged boots. We're doing that too. Ask me how. Whole other thing though. Alright, sorry. In case of 13 Catone, the historic narrative falls to establish convincing rationale for the subject's winged boots, the various martial items, and the grotesquely large impaled head at the figure's feet. We therefore need to step away from the historical narrative, reappraise the image once more. The head on the ground is much larger than any human head, and there is therefore suggested a mythical creature. The spear passing through the left eye in such prominent way serves to draw our attention to it. Hey, this is how much attention was drawn to it. I was talking about this going through the eye and ice pick earlier, because that's how they do the lobotomy. And they cut the lobe off going through the eye the other way than the spear is going. This is twice today something like that come up. I brought it up, but from before. Now it's all, see, everything is now recondensing back into a reading. Serves to draw our attention. Why is it highlighted in this way? The top right hand corner of the card depicts a star shedding its influence upon the scene. We can sense a feeling that imparts by grim and malefic mood evoked by the imagery. Our clues, then, are the act of decapitation, the presence of the inhumanly large head, its pierced left eye, the winged boots, martial items at the figure's feet, and the malefic nature of the star's energies. The medieval astrology text, the Book of Hermes, on the 15 fixed stars, allows us to interrogate the possible candidates from amongst the 15 fixed Behenian or root stars. I don't know, I've never heard that word before. When we review their attributes, Caput Algol stands out as the likely candidate. Not only is the influence considered highly malefic, yeah, that's the ghoul, the head of the ogre. It says it comes from the word ghoul. Caput Algol is also known as the demon star or Satan's head. In astrological lore, it is associated with the ancient hero Perseus, a demigod. Perseus famously killed and decapitated Gorgon Medusa, whose gaze turns people into stone. 2nd century astronomer mathematician Hipparchus made a separate constellation out of the stars around Algol to represent Medusa's head. It was usual for the whole group to be referred to Perseus and Gorgon's head. In the arrangement, Algol is represented by the left eye of Medusa, the eye penetrated by the spear of Catone. Because of Perseus' divine paternity, he was one of Zeus' sons. For the task of the gods equipped him with a helmet of invisibility, a mirrored shield, a sword called a harp, a bag, and winged sandals that would allow him to fly. This equipment is just visible around the figure's feet. Following the chain of associations, we can confirm that the standing figure depicted on Catone 13, is coded reference to the constellation Perseus. Although constellation Perseus is important on its own right, the card's energy appears to have been designed to accentuate the subsidiary constellation called the Gorgon's Head. And there it is. Within the grossly large inhuman head of Medusa, our attention draws eclectically to the left eye. Whilst this group of the stars constitutes the Gorgon's Head, was purely evil. Its main star, Caput Algol, the head of the evil, is likened to be the most malefic of them all. Combination with Saturn and Mars imaginable. It is the most unfortunate shit a motherfucker can find himself in. A dangerous star of heavens, with the reputation for causing violence and unnatural death. Its significance in the designer has been made quite literal, pointed reference to the most evil source of astral energies in the heavens. How can it not be? Okay, it sold me on that. Before the Council of Trent, the inauguration of the Counter-Reformation and establishment of European and wide inquisitorial activity, fucking inquisitors, the practice of magic was pervasive at every level of society across Europe. Particular form of magic prevalent among the Renaissance elites was learned ritual magic utilizing planetary and astral forces. Amongst the elite, astrology and magic provided an essential component to their strategy to survive and prosper in violent, turbulent times. The magical realization of specific material outcomes required the assistance of those demonic beings who were naturally suited to offensive operations. In the other words, demons. The result was at least one branch of elite Renaissance magic tended to manifest in dark sorcerous forms, and in this form that the deck uniquely captures. The principal magic used in Caput Algol would be an operation of attack sorcery, wherein it would be used to fix malefic intent of the sorcerer in place, and so magnify the intensity and duration of its effects. That's it happening. That's the bullshit happening to the opponent in the game. Cato NE. Not here. Oh, no, it's not here. Not here. Not here. Holy shit. That's pretty profound.